KT Racing have been very quiet when it comes to Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, but we finally do have an update in the form of their Explorer update. So I'm going to be telling you today everything you need to know about that, including what is included in that Solar Club letter number 7, their sort of winter update per se. So this new trailer and new Solar letter connected to it, the trailer was shown at Nakon Connect 2024 on the 29th of February, which again is highlighting another playstyle just like in the Cruiser and in the Racer trailers. So a bit of the trailer overview. In the trailer, you're taken off the beaten track and shown the world you can explore on Hong Kong Island, and you're shown the Ford Raptor F-150 and the Lancia Delta Integrale and the Porsche Taycan Turbo S Cross Turismo. The Hong Kong Island has many different landscapes to explore, as it has treasures to find. There are beaches to forests and mountains, and you can do this obviously alone or with friends, as you can set out to find nearly over 300 items which are collectibles, including rewards like solar coins, reputation, clan influence and special objects. There's also a wreck radar which alerts you with a recoverable car park which is nearby. Collect them all to assemble 2 exclusive cars. I suppose this is similar to what you have in the Crew, and you can only add these 2 cars once you've found all the parts which are scattered around the island. And Exploration also offers valuable rewards for your in-game progression. As for the missing particle effects that you may have noticed in the trailer, they've addressed this in the letter. So because of the lack of the dust and splashes when the cars were driving on gravel roads, they've said that they're still working on integrating and optimizing these effects. They know the importance of the element of the off-road immersion, but also they know it's also resource and performance intensive, and in the current development goal for this, they are going to have to find the best balance between the particle effects and performance while ensuring smooth gameplay remains a priority. Now, they've also noted that they can display long dust trails like in the WRC games with the KT engine, and the scale of Hong Kong Island and the resources required to display other players and the detailed environment means it's a much more of a challenge for this game. Moving on to talk about social and online integration. For all the social features to work, things like the Solar Hotel, the clan HQs, basically everything we know about the social aspect, they have said and confirmed that an internet connection is required to play Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, and that means a constant connection. You've got to be constantly connected, which I know for some will be a deal breaker, and some of you will be bringing up the Crew 1 in that instance, because eventually down the line, years and years and years after it's launched, when it eventually launches, it may not be playable. But we're not at that stage yet, but it can be one of those things that could happen to the game in the far, far, far future. Moving on to development, the timeline of the development time, they kind of went into some more detail on how long some of these things have actually taken. So most of Test Drive Unlimited's gameplay has been implemented and is currently being finalized. That's good news. But to give us an idea of the work involved, it needed over 3 years to create Hong Kong Island at a 1-to-1 scale and its road network, and to include all the details in the off-road areas and the island's hidden corners, etc. And fully integrating a car model with TDU quality level of detail can take up to 4 months, and this includes detailing the modeling to meet manufacturer requirements, adding the details for maximum immersion while driving, including interior lighting with some models and unique animations such as reclining roofs for cabriolets and physics for every road surface, engine sounds, upgrades, etc. I think you get the point. It basically takes quite a long time for one car to be developed, and just remember how many cars we've seen thus far. Now, they kind of touched on launch date. Now, if you saw the tweet about the launch date, the tweet kind of tricked us, saying about there was sort of a launch date mention, but they haven't. There is no launch date, unfortunately. We still don't have one, because they've said although a launch date has been considered several times, they want to take the time they needed to ensure that your experience of Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is as smooth, stable and fun as it can be. And they have quoted the community in this aspect and saying, "We hear that you want us to take the time to release the game that matches the community's expectations, and they're working on stability of the server infrastructure and optimizing the game's performance, and when they feel like these 2 areas are stable, a launch date will be shared, and in the meantime more test phases will be started soon, including the closed playtest number 3, which will be bigger in scope and in larger territories." And that's basically everything. I do want to take a minute or two just to kind of mention that I am in the camp of wanting them to take the time to release the game, but I don't want it to take too long. But it does sound that they're very near the end of that development cycle. It just seems like they're refining everything and optimizing things for the online MMO, which I know is a bit controversial. I personally don't mind, but I do see the big downsides for a lot of people. But there is a bit of concern. If you watch the Nakon Connect, you will know that KT Racing haven't just been working on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, which kind of might explain why they've been taking a while on this. And I'm a little bit against why they're doing 2 new projects. This might be to do with Nakon, the publisher, being we want a couple more games from you, or to do with licensing of what they've got. But they're developing a new Endurance Motorsport Series game, which is meant to combine sort of strategy and sort of sim racing element, I suppose. And they're also working on the MXGP, which is the MotoGP dirt bike game. So that is probably why I'm a little bit against them making a new project when they still haven't got Test Drive out. I want them to really focus on that and then focus on anything else if they want to do that. That's fine. Maybe development might have been a bit quicker. But I'd like to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this update? What do you think about the trailer? Anything, all your thoughts, put them in the comments below, because that's going to conclude today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it helpful. And if you did, and let's see more content on this one, make sure you're subscribed. I make racing and simulation content on the channel, so if that does interest you, please stick around, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.